A very good afternoon to one and all. I am immensely delighted for having been invited to deliberate on the talk. My thanks are due to Dr. Sandeep Sharma and his team members of the conference of Euro-Asia Didactic Hub Forum 2020 and to the authorities. Now the topic that I have chosen for the presentation is on the universities of SEZ's economic system, BRI global strategy. Universities are indeed a melting pot for the development of any economy in any part of the globe. Universities stand for the universe to culminate with ideas by virtue of brainstorming that is done by the intelligentsia in the university. So SEZs, which will come up in the process of Belt and Road Initiative, will have to be interacted in the platforms which are dealt by the professors in the university to make it seamlessly accessible, understandable to one and all in the context. Because universities have a bigger role, since ages, people have been involving universities for the decision-making process to make them seamlessly acceptable to one and all and make it participatory in the process. Participation is to make sure that the business get intermingled with the acceptance of the public, and therefore it becomes a democratic model through which the business could run. So when universities are involved in special economic zones, when clusters are created in the Belt and Road Initiative, those new ideas which will evolve, initiate in the process, which have been strategized by the BRI initiative of China, will make substantial progress because it will be acceptable to people. So therefore universities are pivotal and are hallmark to any kind of progress. Understandably, if you see the mammoth exercise of BRI, which is spanning across 7 continents, 70 countries, or it could expand to more than 17 countries in the later times, we'll have a huge channel through which progress is to take place. So progress will come through the network, bridging corridors, bridging roads, connecting regions and nations, connecting people, connecting all those who come across. So in that process, all universities who all are there when SEZs are created have to be involved as a people representative of those of the places to deliberate on the topic and can advise, admonish the systems to ensure that businesses develop. Now, when you think about any economic development, creating an ecosystem with the help of SEZs, universities would be required. Universities will be required to ensure that the missing links are bridged. Now, when you think about any infrastructure per se, universities are essential because infrastructure entails huge amount of funding and progress of nations conferred by the sovereignty to the search engine process for development, for enhancing trade and commerce. So here in this project, you have expanding trade and commerce which will come up, ASER projects, obtaining foreign investment, increasing trade by 1.7 to 6.2%, and real income by 0.7 to 2.9% globally across 70 countries. The size of the business is huge. It will cover 65% of the global population across all continents. It will lift poverty of people of around 35 million. The poverty, it will contribute to 1/3 of the global GDP. It's a huge coverage for business and economic contribution and upliftment. IMF funding and other fundings will come into process. So therefore, it has to be ensured through proper process to be maintained. So in the making of an international economic corridor and cross-regional cooperation, leadership positions are very important because mutual development of economic issues involve proper decision making because countries are involved. But one interesting thing which would come in the process is that it will affect the flora and fauna, it will affect nature, it will affect environment. So pollutions are inevitable, and therefore sustainability is a key element through which it has to be envisaged. And the umbrella initiative will culminate with relationship of people and will develop continental relationship. What a mammoth, what a huge initiation it is. So different countries will be involved. They will be in a relationship. Flagship foreign policy project that is developed is 8 times of the Marshall Plan. 8 times. It is quite huge. It can entail globalization or localization and benefit mankind. It will possibly ensure cooperation and cooperative development. So BRI universities, which all will be involved, will become the epicenter of economic development and ecosystem and will contribute to the macro and micro economies. It will be holistic in its spirit through participatory process and people involvement. Interventions of universities endearing better economic system, because without universities, without involvement of people, without a participatory process, without a democratic participation, it will be very difficult. Stakeholders are key to building of any nation. Stakeholders will come in the process when infrastructure will grow. When infrastructure is to be developed across 70 countries, all those people will be involved. All those people will be involved, and the engine of progress will come up with SEZs, wherein there are scopes and opportunities to grow, because scopes and opportunities will relate to people's involvement and business, trade and commerce. And therefore, holistically, it is a huge business which has to be envisaged with a proper perspective, proper understanding, proper thought process. Thank you very much.